Hey guys, Nicole Dixon with JPAR Magnolia. So, I just want to talk a moment about the NAR settlements. A lot of my buyers are kind of freaking out saying like, "Hey, with this new thing going around, like I'm going to have to pay my broker, their compensation and everything when I'm buying a house. Like, I don't know if I can afford that on top of my closing costs and my down payment. If that goes into effect in June, what am I going to do?" Well, I just want to kind of clarify a few things. Here in South Carolina, we have always had to have a buyer agreement. So that's what they're kind of saying now, is that's going to become a required item. Well, in South Carolina, we've always had that. So when I sit down with you to talk about you purchasing a home and what that process looks like and everything else, before we ever go look at houses, we're going to sign a buyer agency agreement. So that is going to kind of set the tone for everything that you can expect. And in that, we talk about commission. So my fee personally is 3%. And I tell you that ahead of time. And I'm like, hey, my commission is 3%. If we were to find a home that offers less than that out in the MLS, so traditionally it's been sellers offer a certain amount to the buyer's agent. That amount could be 2%, 2.5%, could be the 3%, right? So if we're going and we're looking at a house that is at 2% or 2.5%, you are responsible for that difference up to that 3% that we have agreed upon in our buyer agency agreement, right? So that has always been a thing. That's not changing here in South Carolina. They're not saying that sellers are no longer paying those commissions. Commissions have always been negotiable. So you have always been able to pick and choose where you want to spend that commission, how much you want to offer out to the buyer's agent, if you're going to offer anything at all in the first place. So now they're just saying that it will no longer be posted on the MLS. So that means that now, as a buyer's agent, I have to call every single listing agent, ask them what the commission is, if they're offering a commission. And if they are, we still will make that same decision at that point. Do we want to go look at this house knowing that we're going to be, responsible for that extra? If the answer is yes, awesome. Let's go look at that house. If it's offering out 2%, we have already agreed upon 3%. You know what that number is. So you have to make up that difference of that 1%. And it's that simple. So a lot of states don't have that agreement. So they were pushing people, agents were taking you to see only 3% houses instead of the 2.5% or the 2% houses because they would make more. We've never done that in South Carolina. We've always had upfront, here is our fee. I hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions.